Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. And I'm working on practicing that this morning. There's so much going on. I'm back to what Jacob said we talked about last week. Everything's against me. Sometimes it feels like everything's just on and it's all coming at me and nothing's going right? But that's okay. It does not matter because still peace out. That nothing, no circumstances changes a thing about the kingdom of God. And I love that. So we always have his peace, his mercy, and his grace. It's that time of need when we go before his throne of grace or throne of mercy to find grace to help in time of need, right? Well, I'm in one of those moments. So just say a quick prayer, right? Anyway, so here's what I'm thinking about. We've been talking this week about situations where it didn't look like God was in it. Right? There was a missing piece. They couldn't see the next part. We can read the next part. We know what's going to happen because we've already read the story, or we've told the story, we've shared the story, we've lived the story, right? But these people were in the story. They were real people living in real situations and they couldn't see the next part, right? So, and so maybe they're crying out. We talked about Jacob and going to be, he doesn't know he's going to be Joseph again. He thinks Joseph is gone, right? We talked about all these guys. Well, today I want to talk about in Daniel 3, the 3 Hebrew children where they were thrown into the fiery furnace. And I think it's interesting because, first the king set up a big idol and said, you're all going to bow. We're going to have this big party and you're all going to play. When you hear the music, hit your knees and bow to the idol that I set up. This is going to be fun. Come on, everybody's got to do it. If you don't do it, we're going to kill you. What kind of party is that, right? And so the 3 Hebrew children determined in their heart that they were not going to do that they were not going to bow to an idol and bow to anything, any deity or supposed deity other than God. That was just what they put in their hearts, right? That's what they determined. So the king says, well, if you don't bow, you're going to get thrown into the fiery furnace. And so they're like, okay. So music plays. They don't bow. The king goes, come on, y'all got to play. Everybody's playing. They can put some peer pressure on, right? Everybody's playing. Just bow to the idol. It's not that big a deal. Just bow to the idol. We're all playing this little game. And they're like, no, we're not bowing the knee or the heart to any God except Yahweh, Jehovah, right? And so they're like, well, then we're gonna have to throw you in the fiery furnace. So they heated the furnace up 7 times hotter. And I love what they said to the king. They said, and this is in around verse 16 to 18, they said, we are not going to even defend ourselves. That's an important principle in life. When you defend yourself, you're going to offend or someone else, or you're going to put it off on someone else, right? Anyway, he says, we don't even need to defend ourselves. If you throw us into the fiery furnace, the God we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. So they're being respectful, right? But then they say in verse 18, but even if he doesn't, we're still not going to bow. And so they're like, oh, we know God is going to rescue us. And if he doesn't, we're not going to bow. And I wonder how it really felt to walk through that. So they heated up the fiery furnace. They got it all ready. And it must have made the king mad because he said, heat it up 7 times more. I want to really fry these dudes, right? And so they have made this bold statement that probably came out of their spirit with their head. And sometimes you make these bold statements about God and this statement of faith that your head goes, what did you just say? What did you say? What? Right? And so they made this bold faith statement, even if he doesn't. And God's going to deliver us, whether it's by death or not. But as they're being bound, do they think, where is God now? Is he going to ride in on a white horse and just take us off into the forever, right? And they're being led up to the fiery furnace. They're on the edge of the fiery furnace. So they're going, is God going to step in now? God got a plan now? Is he coming for us now? Is it now? Are we fixing to get thrown in? Or, have you ever been in those kind of circumstances where you feel like you're on the edge of a just massive destruction or breakdown or a meltdown or failure? And you're like, is God coming now? Because it would be really helpful if he came right now. Maybe you can't see him coming, but you can see the fiery furnace in your life. And you know this is fixing to get really bad, right? And so it's like, is he coming now? I don't see him coming, but I know God can. I know he can help me. I know he can give me peace. I know he can give me strength. I know he can give me what I need for life and godliness. I know, but I don't see it. All I see is, and I feel the heat of the fire, even though I'm not quite in it yet. And it's getting worse every day. And I don't see him yet. Do they stand on the edge going, okay, is he coming in riding on a white horse now? Is he coming in? He didn't come in. They went into the fire. Once they got into the fire, they were willing to give their lives up. They were like, okay, well, we're just going to die, go be with Jesus. We're still going to be rescued from the king's evil power because we're going to be with God now, right? We're going to be in heaven. We'll be dead. He will have no power over us when our bodies are in the grave and our spirits are with God, right? So they know they're going to win, but they still got to go through the fire. And then when they're in the fire, did they see the fourth person? Did they see the Spirit of God? Did they sense the Spirit of God? The fire didn't even touch them. It didn't even feel hot to them. And the king goes, I thought we just threw 3 men in there. There's somebody else in there with them. And I want to say, when we go through the fiery trials of life, many times other people can see that fourth man in the fire with us. Many times other people can see that God is with us in the fire, whether we feel him, whether we are sure that he's there or not, whether we feel like we're being rescued or not. They were still in the fire. God was in there with them. Wasn't like the Son of Man, as the king said, was in there with them, but they were still in the fire. And then finally the king says, okay, go get them out. And then they go get the 3 men out of the fire. Then God did rescue these 3 men. But up until that last point, what were they thinking? What were they feeling? Were they thinking God's not coming, or he's not coming fast enough, or he's not going to show up? How is this going to turn out? Is each turn as they bound their hands and feet, did he think, is he coming now? Standing on the edge of the fire, is he coming now? No, they go into the fire, and then he was there with them. He came in his own timing, and he preserved them and saved them in that fire. But each time along the way, were they wondering about it? You ever been in circumstances where you're like, God, are you here with me? Are you in this fire with me? Do you see what's about to happen to my home, to my finances, to my job, to my friends, to my relationships, to my fill in the blank with whatever you're going through? Do you see this, God? I've got some really good entry points where you could just come in and wipe it all out, right? I've got some good places where God could just step in anytime, and he hasn't yet. I'm facing a fire, I'm facing being bound, or I'm facing hard circumstances, and I'm looking for God, and I know he can rescue me. I know he's going to get me out of it somehow, but I'm waiting for him at each step along the way, but I don't see him yet. And that's where faith steps in, and faith declares, God's still got me. Whether I see him coming in on a white horse, whether I see him in the fire before I get thrown into it, whether he comes and breaks the ropes off of my hands or not, while they're heating up the fire's heating up 7 times more. In each of those, they saw all of that. And in each moment, did they think, is he coming now? Is he coming now? Is he coming now? But let me just say this, he did come. He may not have come when they thought was the best spot. This would be a good spot. I've prayed that before. God, this would be a good spot for a miracle. This would be a really good spot for you to just step in here and show your power and rescue and redeem and set everything right. I got some good spots for you to just step in, God, but I don't see you yet. But just keep saying, God is in this moment, whether I see him or not, whether I feel him or not. We know he is with us in it. And when the fire gets hotter, that's when tempers flare too. Tempers, maybe even anger at God. Like, where are you at now? Do you not see this? Do you not? Are you going to help or not? Are you just going to sit up there on your throne and stare? Or are you going to step in? And we feel those things. And maybe they thought each along the way, when is he going to come? But he did come. He was in the fire with them, and he will be in the fire with us. And we know the outcome because we can read the story, but they didn't know when they were going into that fire what the outcome was going to be. But they continued to trust God and say, he will deliver us. And they kept the faith, and they went through the fire, and God brought them out of the fire. And that's why we can peace out, because we know he's going to do the same for us. Have a great day. Hope I said something that made sense. Peace out. I'll see you again tomorrow.